This was beyond unexpected. New reports link the Warriors to Suns guard Bradley Beal as there's been some major developments today in the Suns' quest to find a way to get the $55 million a year guard off their roster. So how in the world is this even possible for the Warriors? In today's video, I'll break down all the reports, take a look at how credible these rumors are as all of us Warriors fans struggle to make sense of the endless rumors over the past 24 hours and analyze the impact a move like this would have on the Warriors offseason, plus the latest on the Al Horford, Dame Lillard, and that three-team deal with Sac in Detroit. So welcome to Warriors Digest. I'm Arthur Ballesteros. We bring you daily videos breaking down everything going on with the Golden State Warriors during the offseason here. We're bringing you multiple videos a day as news just keeps coming out minute by minute. And if you're part of this percentage here who hasn't subscribed to the channel yet, hit that button right now. If you want the Warriors to finally make a move in this offseason, hit it for me and you'll be able to stay in the loop on everything going on. You'll get updates on new videos so that we can get to news like this. This is the headline coming out today. Warriors have emerged as a potential destination for Sun star amid ongoing rumors. So there is some really interesting chatter going on, and I want to break down how credible this could be because a lot of us have been pulled one way and the other by all sorts of news going on, especially late last night with the developments of the 3-team deal, then the 7-team deal, all of that going on. So I really want to analyze what's going on here. So this all came from a tweet that was put out here with the Warriors that could have interest in Bradley Beal if he's bought out per Gambo987. Who's Gambo987? That's John Gambadoro, who is a legit #1 Suns insider. He hosts the morning radio show over there in Phoenix. He is extremely tapped into what's going on. He was the guy who called Durant was going to be leaving the Suns. He even called that it was going to be a deal with Houston. He even called multiple pieces that were going to be coming back weeks before any of this came out. He has been kind of a Suns oracle for a long time. But I want to caution you here with some of this that's coming out here with John Gambadoro because I cannot find a true source coming from him anywhere. You're seeing the tweets all over the place. Every publication has picked this up, including Athlon Sports, which goes on to write here with the Suns retooling their roster. It's been reported that they're trying to move Beal again this summer, but they may have to do it by buying out his contract. If that does end up happening, the Golden State Warriors, Los Angeles Lakers, and Milwaukee Bucks are expected to show interest in signing him, according to Suns insider John Gambadoro. I spent most of the morning looking for John Gambadoro's quote on this and could find it nowhere. It's not on his Twitter. He is very active on Twitter. I'm assuming here, and now just go with me, that this was a quote that was taken from his radio show. But this is the problem with NBA free agency, rumors, everything going on, and all of these publications who are kind of quick to try to pick up on some of this stuff, is they're not actually looking for the sources. And I will tell you here at Warriors Digest, regardless, we are going to look for the true sources behind what's going on. We're not just going to bring you some BS. Now, there's a lot of rumors out there. We may talk about things that are hypothetical and a lot of things that may not ever come to fruition, but it's a conversation here. But we're always going to source what's going on here. So we're working hard to try to get to the bottom of all this. But everybody else is running with this story, which, I mean, that's a whole story on its own here. But we did get some very real news that did come out here. This coming from the Arizona Republic, who is reporting that Bradley Beal and the Suns are discussing a possible buyout. Now, all this news with the Warriors came out earlier this morning. Then we did get the concrete developments and some actual reporting here that the Suns are trying to buy out Bradley Beal, which makes a lot of sense here. And let's take a look at the original reporting here, which comes from Dwayne Rankin, who writes for the Arizona Republic, very trusted insider, very reputable source. He says the Phoenix Suns have been discussing a possible buyout for guard Bradley Beal. League sources have informed the Arizona Republic. Beal has 2 years left on his contract, totaling $110 million. The buyout could make Beal a free agent. Teams can officially begin signing players to contracts July 6th. He'd no longer have a no-trade clause with a buyout because the contract would be voided. The Suns are a little more than $10 million over the second apron. So the real story here for the Suns is they're trying to get out from apron hell. They've got a nightmare going on, which is part of the reason why they're moving Kevin Durant, getting a bunch of pieces back from Houston or whomever. We don't even know what that deal is like now, because at first it was reported it's, the Rockets and the Suns, and now it seems to involve 7 teams. So we're just going to have to most likely wait until July 6th for a lot of this to shake out here and what's actually going on. But we do know that the Suns are in a major problem here with the salary cap, and moving Bradley Beal has been a big priority for them for a long time to get out from under his contract, which creates a situation like Dame Lillard where he would become a free agent and contenders would be vying for his services. Now, why would the Warriors want Bradley Beal? If the Suns are trying to get him off their roster under any circumstance and they're willing to eat a bunch of the money, even though he's healthy and only 32 years old, why would the Warriors want him? Well, I argue they only want him if there are some other moves going on in the background, because he ends up becoming a redundant player for the Warriors with some of the pieces they already have here. But when you look at his stats here from last year, he averaged 17 points a game, 3 boards, 3.7 assists. He is still shooting his three-pointers at about 39%, almost 50% from the field, 6'4", 32 years old. I mean, he was a 3-time All-Star. There was a point about 5 years ago, he averaged 31 points a game for the Wizards. So, I mean, he is a baller, but he's in major decline here as we look at his stats over the past 5 years. Back in 2020, 2021, that was the last season he played more than 60 games. He averaged 31 points, but you just see the slow decline there in his scoring output. Although he still maintains a very high shooting percentage, high three-point shooting percentage as well, taking about 5 threes for the Suns last year, but he only played in 53 games, ended up not even starting in a lot of them there. But the Suns want to move off him. They want to create some room for the theoretically newly acquired Jalen Green, although the ink hasn't dried on that trade deal quite yet. But how would Beal fit into the Warriors roster? I mean, when we look at what's going on and who the Warriors have under contract right now, this deal doesn't make sense to me. And I don't think a lot of things make sense to Warriors fans when you look at a lot of these deals on their own. But this is going to be part of a bigger picture. Now, if something like this does come to fruition, most likely there has to be some other deal going on, because just look at the redundancy here with Bradley Beal. I mean, he does a lot of the same things that Buddy Hield does. They're both around the same age. Hield on about a $9 million contract. Buddy Hield, the next best three-point shooter in the league over the past several years behind Steph. Beal is right up there as well. So just kind of redundant, although you can never have enough shooters in this day and age. He just doesn't fill a need that the Warriors need right now. The Warriors have enough shooting guards who are decent to good to excellent shooters, especially from behind the arc. I mean, now on a veteran minimum deal, sure, I'm fine with it. Or if there is some other deal in the works where Buddy Hield is being flipped somewhere else. We do know that Buddy Hield is an interesting name to watch because of his salary and because of his contract. It is pretty manageable, but it is one of the larger ones that the Warriors have outside of their big 3. Moses Moody and Buddy Hield are kind of those 2 chips where if they needed to make some money work somewhere to match here, those are 2 pieces who come up frequently in trade discussions who could be on the block there. So under that scenario, this is where it would make sense for the Warriors to bring in somebody like Bradley Beal. Although I do think that he makes almost perfect sense for the Bucks right now, especially since they've moved on from Dame. They are going to be looking for somebody to kind of fill that void as a three-point shooter as they desperately try to keep Giannis around and keep that core intact there. Bradley Beal did say he wants to, stick close to his family in Phoenix, though. The Bay Area isn't that far away, although LA is a little bit closer. I could definitely see something like that happening. My bet is on him going to the Lakers. The Lakers are making a flurry of moves here. They're active in the buyout market, as we saw, or I guess the wave and stretch market, we saw with DeAndre Ayton there. But here we are as the Warriors, and we're just left out of all of the offseason frenzy that's going on despite all of these rumors. No real movement has happened, and it may not happen for quite a while as we still wait for the Jonathan Kuminga situation to shake out. We got an update on that a little bit here that we're going to get to, but a little bit more news here from around Warriors watch as we're waiting around to see what happens here. We did get an update here in something that is interesting with the Al Horford situation, as the Lakers did just sign a backup center. So it looks like potentially he could be off the table for the Lakers. And we were getting a lot of reports earlier today that apparently Al Horford his decision was coming down to the Warriors, the Lakers, or retirement. Well, the Lakers are probably out now, so it may just be down between the Warriors and retirement as we get this news here that the LA Lakers, they signed center Jackson Hayes. They agreed to a 1-year deal, so he's going to be coming in or staying put in LA, looking like he's going to be the backup option to DeAndre Ayton. Now, we did also get another interesting update here that I just saw as I started recording here. This was from Bleacher Report tweeting this out, an update on the Dame Lillard situation, saying that Lillard is open to signing with his team this offseason to continue rehabbing under the right terms and conditions, per Chris Hayes, another very reputable, tapped-in insider. So there had been some questions about whether Dame would even want to sign a deal with a contender after getting that wave and stretch from the Milwaukee Bucks. Now we're getting some reporting that he is open to that. So I'm sure you're going to hear a lot more rumors about Dame to the Warriors here. I want you to tell me down in the comments down below, out of those three that have been mentioned so far, Bradley Beal, Dame Lillard, Al Horford, who do you want to see the most on the Warriors? My vote is for Horford because not that he's a perfect fit at 39 years old, but my God, we need a center. I don't want to hear any more about us being attached to shooting guards and things like that, although there are some interesting names in the Jonathan Kuminga saga. Speaking of the JK situation here, we did get some reports. Obviously, everybody went into a frenzy yesterday as all these reports started coming out about the 3-team deal involving Kuminga to the Kings, Malik Monk going from Sacramento to Detroit, Dennis Schroeder coming from Detroit to Sacramento, and the Warriors getting the worst trade package back ever, including Dario Saric and 2 second-round picks. Now, this is being reported by the Sacramento Bee. This is from Jason Anderson. So, again, very tapped-in beat writer here with the Sacramento Kings. He's saying that the reports of the 3-team deal between the Kings, Detroit, and Golden State are absolutely false. So this plays into the narrative that what's going on here is more likely the 7-team deal, which everybody is reporting basically is a foregone conclusion. Now, there were some interesting updates in that Jonas Valanciunas, who is the center who got traded from the Kings over to Denver, who was kind of a target for the Warriors. It could be a nice, decent, okay piece as a, option D at the center position there. There's now reports that he's not going to report to the Nuggets. He's actually going to head overseas and play overseas this season. So interesting developments there. May potentially, derail this whole 7-team trade here that's going on. So just so many things going on here. Guys, we're all tired as Warriors fans. We've been whipped one way and the other. And I'm bringing these things to you to just have a discussion, let you know what is being talked about out there in the NBA circles, all of the rumors. I've kind of spent all day just kind of poring over a lot of these things in these reports, trying to find the validity and making sure that we're bringing you the most accurate information here from legitimate sources. Now, again, with this Bradley Beal stuff and the Warriors being interested there, the person who is quoted as saying this, John Gambadoro, incredibly reputable. He has been way ahead of multiple moves. He is extremely tapped in. He's also somebody who has been, flying off the rails, saying that he knows for a fact that LeBron wants out of LA and LA wants to find a new home for him. So that's something to keep an eye on as well. But so many rumors, so much going on, so much to parse out. It's exhausting. I mean, we're all exhausted as Warriors fans as we patiently wait for something to happen here with Jonathan Kuminga and let the rest of the dominoes fall. You tell me your thoughts down below. What do you think is going to happen? Are you interested in bringing Bradley Beal in here? I think that everybody in Warriors land is pretty much just, they don't want to hear anything about another shooting guard. They just want a center and they want some resolution to the Jonathan Kuminga situation, and they want a 3-and-D wing, which Bradley Beal is not. So you let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and I'll be back probably later tonight if there's any other updates going on. Until then, though, peace.